everybody, how are you doing today? Welcome back to another energy reading for the week of April 12th, 2021. Hello. Say hi if you're here watching live or the replay. I really love to see who's all here and hanging out. And for those of you that are new to the group, my name is Trisha Schinkel. I am your intuitive spiritual healer and coach from innerbuddha.ca. So I am your awakening coach. So what I offer for those of you who are empaths and healers out there, struggling with your path where you are, trying to find purpose, trying to find comfort in where you're at, I do offer my 4-month awakening coaching series. If you're interested, message me, let me know. So I wanted to just jump into the announcements. Of course, I am booking consultations this week. I do have some spots available for coaching if you're interested. I did just release the most recent podcast episode number 5. So this one is really interesting because I get to the nitty-gritty of what 3D and 5D really are and kind of give you some background and understanding of when I use those terms or when I'm talking about that kind of stuff, you get a little bit more information about it so you're kind of in the know, right? That's kind of important. So that is available now if you want to listen to the podcast on any platform, it's available now. So I want to just tap into the energy this week. I don't know about you guys, but I know I've been having a little bit of a hard time this week, getting challenged, lots of things happening, right? So if you're on, say hi, let me know you're here. And let me know too, like what kind of week have you guys been having? Because I don't know, the energy this week definitely has been pushing us to grow, which, okay, not necessarily the worst thing in the world, right? When you get challenged, we tend to get stuck in the challenge of what is happening to us. And hi, Dora, thanks so much for coming on. I just want to give you hugs and kisses. This is basically, I'm just going to offer a different perspective. So when things are starting to get tough and, things are just not going your way, it's easy to get stuck in the what is happening to you, right? And, oh, hi, Harriet. Thanks so much for coming on. So it's just basically what I'm offering is a different perspective. So looking at a different way, right? So instead of looking at what is happening and trying to figure out and analyze and figure out like, why is this happening? What did I do to cause this to happen, right? We don't need to worry about that at all. All you have to do is really shift the perspective to how is it helping me grow? How is this challenge, this problem, this thing that just keeps coming up or has been going on for a long time? Instead of thinking about the what, look at the how. How is it making you grow? How are you being challenged? How are you being called to step up to the plate, right? And sometimes when you're stuck in the what is happening to you, it drains you. It physically takes your energy and just sucks the life out of you, right? But it's only because you're just giving it so much attention, right? So I'm just offering a different perspective, a different way of viewing it, and a different way of it allowing to play a part in your role of your development, of your growth, right? So when I was really tapping into the energy this week, I'm going to let you guys know, like I had a rough week last week. I had migraines, I got sick, and I still kept trucking. I kept going and doing it. And I knew that it was purging, right? That's the thing too, is this week we have a lot of purging going on. And the purge is actually taking us closer to the end of the tunnel, which is really good. Hi, Ken. Thanks so much for coming on. Thanks for saying hi. So purging is big. Purging is really big, and it's not necessarily a bad thing either. It's shitty to go through it, really. I know when you're purging, there's a lot of crying. It depends on how your body releases energy too, right? And a lot of times, especially empaths, we when we cry about something, or if we're really overly emotional and we get swept away in that, we tend to take it very personal, right? We don't realize that it's not really personal. It's just that that's our body's way of cleansing. And we forget that. We get wrapped up in the what instead of what how is it helping us, right? So this is just a reminder just to kind of, shift that focus a little bit. And as soon as you shift that focus, when you're shifting it from what is happening to how is this making me grow, there is this release just automatically, as soon, like off your shoulders, like this weight off your shoulders. Like, it's not your responsibility to have to figure out and analyze every bit and detail of what's going on. All you have to know is that it's there to help you grow. Bottom line, in one way, shape, or form, right? So what is it doing for you? How is it strengthening you? How is it guiding you? What is it inspiring you to do? What is it bringing? What kind of fears is it bringing up? Because the fears are signposts. They're pointing you in the direction in which the direction you should be going. And a lot of times when we are faced with our fears, we shut down and we kind of want to turn the other way, or, go into hibernation or something. And it's just because it's out of our comfort zone. That's all it is. It's just about having the audacity to step out of your comfort zone and look at this fear in your eyes and, okay, don't analyze it, but just say, hey, fear, what are you doing here? Like, what are you trying to show me? What are you trying to tell me, right? Because a lot of the times we don't realize that fear is a tool. It's really a tool. It's something that we are given. And a lot of times, again, we get sucked into the emotions. And as empaths and healers, emotions is kind of where we live, right? So that's okay. It's good. All you have to do is recognize it, right? Hi, Bonnie. Thanks. Everybody's coming on today. I love all this, guys. I love all the energy. Love it. But yeah, that's just it. It's just like embracing the hardest parts of your life, making it worth the time and effort that you're putting into. Because when you're putting all this energy into something and not getting anything back out of it, that's when you get depleted. That's when you get drained, right? So it's all about being constructive thought about it. That's what I was picking up anyway. So I'm just going to check my notes and what else do I have to talk about before we get into the cards. Oh, okay. So in order to move through the what, there's some questions that came up that really kind of help, right? So I find questions are another tool. It's another tool for you to dig into the problem, right? And if you want, these are the questions that kind of came up. The first one was, how is this challenge helping me grow? Right? And I kind of said that already. And that's a really important one, because a lot of times we don't even think of problems and challenges in our life to help us grow. We just look at it like we are getting bombarded with, whatever it is that we're getting heavy energy from. But it is there to help you grow. And the next question is, what am I being called to let go of? That's big, because sometimes we hang on to things for so long because we're just so used to it, and it's normalized in our life that we don't even realize that we are grasping on for dear life, right? And it could be something that's old and stagnant and doesn't have any purpose, and it doesn't serve us anymore. But because we're just so used to having it in our life that, we just can't let it go, right? So it's just asking, what are we being called to let go of? That's big. And then another question is, how can I step up and do my part? Now that's interesting, because it's not something that I would personally ask myself. My daughter came into the room. She wanted to be a part of the video. Daddy came and took her. Anyway, so really, how can I step up and do my part? Now, what I want to remind you about this question, so how can I step up and do my part? It's not about doing your part in the world per se. Like, you're not responsible for anyone else's happiness, right? What it is what part can you play in your own healing? What part can you play in your own growth? Right? Because everything starts with you. That's the thing, is as empaths and healers and mothers and nurturers and caretakers, and we are always thinking of everybody else but ourselves, right? But the thing is that it all starts with you anyway, right? If you aren't good, mothers, to say the least, we are the head of the household. If we're not good, the rest of the house is not good, right? You can see the ripple effect. And the opposite is true as well, right? So when you are doing your best, You're going to see everyone around you starting to do their best too. It's just a natural energy flow. It's like this magnetism that starts and it just ripples out, right? And it starts with us. So when I say, what can I do to step up and do my part? It's what can I do in my life to get me to where I want to be, so that everything else will just fall into place. Because that's it. That's what takes the stress off of trying to help everyone else in this world, right? You don't need the weight on your shoulders. You don't need any weight on your shoulders, by the way. Okay, so let me see. You are responsible for your own. And then, okay, so one thing did come to mind, and I wanted to let you guys know about this, is that the guides reminded me. So I tune into the guides and our angels right before the video, right? I connect with my heart center. I connect with our higher self. And I asked them, like, what advice do we need to know about this week? How can we best get the energy out of this week? And one thing that came up was, if you're having a problem, a particular problem with a particular person, sometimes, you know, there's some electrical charges between you and another person. Like there's that friction in the relationship, right? And you're at a point now where you're like, you've said and done everything you could possibly say and nothing is working and you don't understand. It's so hard to get this person out of your life. It could be your sister, it could be your cousin, it could be somebody like close in your family or a family friend that you've known for 20 plus years, right? But you're having problems with this person. You just can't see eye to eye anymore. What the guides are telling you to do is just suggesting that all you have to do is you don't even have to say anything more at that point. All you have to do is envision this person. No, it's almost like the Ho'oponopono, which, if you're familiar with that, is the Hawaiian like forgiveness technique. And what it starts is you're basically sending love to this person, right? You can't repair your relationship for some reason face to face, so you do visualization. So you tune into this place where you both are. You have this like dark room, and then there's you and this person. You visualize this person. You're sending them love from your heart center. You send them love and you say, I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you for, playing your part in my life. And I release you and thank you, right? I know the Ho'oponopono I should have wrote it down. But that's just it. You're just basically sending them love and light, right? Because when you think ill thoughts about somebody, it makes you feel ill. That's why they're called ill thoughts, right? Because you're sending that bad vibes out. But that's not what you want to do. And we're just so used to that we don't think of anything else. But I'm offering a different perspective again. So the different perspective is sending them that love. Even though you feel in your deepest gut that they don't deserve this love, but don't you deserve that love, right? The forgiveness isn't about forgiving what they did. It's about releasing the burdens that fight or that misunderstanding or whatever it is that has caused, right? This heavy burden that you're carrying around from that. It's all about releasing it. And all you are doing is sending it love, because when you send it love, that neutralizes the karmic energies that have been created from this disagreement or this static energy or this friction that has been caused in the relationship, right? I don't know who that is for. I know it's for somebody out there. If that's you, let me know if that resonates with you. But I had a strong pull to talk about that, right? So talking about relationships and talking about how they mirror what we are unconscious of. That's the thing, is we get triggered by things in other people because these are things in our own belief systems or, whatever we're about. Bonnie, that's you, hey? Well, and you know what? That's okay. So if you're in a relationship or you have somebody in your life that you just don't really see eye to eye to, you know what I did is I actually have a person in my life. And now thinking about this, I actually did this exercise last week, was I went in and I asked my guys, I was like, okay, well, this person I can't see eye to eye with. It's so hard. Like as soon as they come in the room, I close up. I really do. And I'm like, what is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to show me? And I realized that it's a lesson in presence. It's a lesson in being present, because when you're around this person, you automatically go into this place, you shut down, right? You close up because you're trying to protect yourself in some way. And that's normal and that's natural, but it's all about, as soon as that autopilot programming comes in and you shut down and close up, notice it and say, okay, I just realized that I closed down. All right, so how can I open myself up and how can I become more present when this person is here? And maybe for the first time, allow myself to see things from a different perspective. Allow myself to see things from their perspective and send them love. Because when you send them love, you're also sending yourself love. And that is the most potent healing technique that you could ever have, right? And you're connecting your heart space. And when you do that, that is where things really turn, right? So Harriet says, let me see here. I'm in total turmoil with my partner and this has really touched me. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. So this is exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm closing up and getting out of the really anxiety. Yeah. And also feel emotional overwhelm all the time. And you know what? That in itself is teaching you something really big. And to be honest, what I have come to learn from all the work that I've been doing and all the clients that I've been working with is that the harder things get, the closer you are to that breakthrough. It's freaking huge. So it could start as a little epiphany, right? This little light in the corner and you have all this darkness surrounding you, but yet you have this thing that comes in and you're like, well, Harriet, maybe you might want to share with the group, let them know what happened on your nose, what appeared to you, what tried to get your attention, because that right there, those little things are reminders to kind of tune into it because we want to check out right away. And I don't blame you. I mean, I've spent my entire life checking out. When I was a teenager, I lost myself in drugs and alcohol. And that led up into a lot of things that, a lot of pain, a lot of avoidance. I was really a master at escapism, right? And so Bonnie says, a long time on and off trend with the clients triggers me so much. Yes, thank you. You are welcome. And she is mentally ill and my heart hurts for her, but I cannot deal with the energy. Thanks for sharing. Aw, you are very welcome. So total affirmation. Exactly, right? You're headed in the right direction this week. But the thing is that these are beautiful things that are happening. It may not seem beautiful at the time as it's happening because it really triggers us. It really weighs heavy on us, right? But it's all about knowing that it's trying to get you to a different level, right? This is the universe's way of tuning you up, right? Giving you those challenges, getting into the dirt, getting into the grit of life, right? Because we came here for the grit of life. Like if it was perfect and everything flowed easily, there wouldn't be any spice of life, right? I think earlier today I mentioned to somebody, I said, challenges are kind of like the spice of life and the outcomes are us dancing to it, right? Because that's really what it is. It's just allowing yourself to see it in a different perspective, right? And that's big. And that right there, as long as you can see something differently, it's going to change everything for you, right? Okay, so I want to know from our guides, I brought my Sacred Geometry cards out. I want to know, what do we need to activate in our energy fields this week to make the best out of the energy that's happening, right? Okay, so Harriet says, I'll share this with the group. It says, a beautiful yellow golden feather fell onto my nose, and when I was about to burst into tears, feeling like I wanted to give up, and I was screaming out for help in my head, and that help came. And that's how I met Harriet, is I saw her post, and I was like, mind blown. Like that right there, out of nowhere, this yellow feather just falls onto her nose, and then we meet and things start to change and things start to happen, right? So it's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you weren't experiencing that pain, if you weren't in that place, we would have never met. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be getting the answers or the guidance that you need when you need it, right? So all of the pain and suffering does serve a purpose. It's to get you to that next level. We're all playing a game, the game of life, right? It's it's a game. It's a stage. We are here to learn, grow, and expand, right? So, okay, we're going to check into our cards. Oh, I'm getting chills. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so I want to know, what do we need to activate in our energy fields this week to get the best out of the energy this week, to heal, because we need to heal. The healing is coming. The healing is coming through no matter what, by the way, you guys. But it's coming through more and more. And the more this healing is coming through, I'm talking about the energies that are coming in through right now. The more these energies are coming through, the more you're going to be getting triggered, because what's happening is these energies are activating all these dormant fields of trapped emotions that we have in our bodies, these beliefs, these stories, these things that have been keeping us trapped, right? So these energies are breaking it up and it's coming to the surface and it hurts. We have to feel it to heal it, right? That's just it. But once we feel it, we can release it. You don't have to hang on to it anymore. And that's the thing, is that sometimes we tend to hang on to things, but we don't have to. I'm just letting you know. So what are we activating in our field this week? Okay, cosmic flower. That is what popped out. Cosmic flower. So the energy or the frequency of a cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place that we call home. So of course we're on Earth. We're not from Earth. we are not of Earth ascension, right? So really what we are from, at the beginning of all things, there's really, in the universe, to be honest, there's no beginning or end. It's infinite. That can get confusing. But where we come from, our home, is the big central sun, right? God, for that source, that's energy source. So we all come from that. We are all soul little fragments. Like if you think of the energy of a sun, and then the solar flares that come out, those are souls shooting out, coming and leaving and going to expand and grow and learn more about life and evolution and all those things, right? And then they come back to the sun eventually. It could be a couple thousand years, could be a couple millennia, but you'll all eventually come back, right? So that's what it's saying, is connecting to that energy. Even though your soul fragment right now is on Earth, incarnated in this body, what that's saying is that we're still, a bigger part of us is in that central sun, is the source, is God, is whatever you want it to call. But that's what this card is reminding me. So cosmic flower is saying the core. So you want to remember the place you call home, the core in which we pour our magnificence out into the world. So that right here is your heart center. So we have two, in our chakra system, we have two heart spaces, right? We have the high heart and the heart chakra. So the high heart is your thymus, right? And in this area, so I feel like when I connect with somebody to heart, it's kind of from both these spaces, right? And this is also the portal to the universe. This is where the universal energy connects from. That's why it's cosmic love energy, right? Does that make sense? So when you're pouring out, connecting to somebody heart center, then you're also pouring out the universal love that's pouring out from source, or from the central sun, right? So this is a good reminder. So this is what we need to activate in our energy fields this week, is the cosmic flower. So however that feels to you, that's what we're going to be activating. You're going to be activating that heart center, opening it up, allowing it to shine. Because when we close it off, we think that we're protecting ourselves. But what you're doing is you're shutting out your own love. And that's why it hurts so bad. And that's why you get to this place where why, like I'm closing things off, but I don't get why it's not getting better. You need to open that heart space. That is when things are going to start getting better. And that's the only time things are going to start getting better, is when you start opening that heart space in your heart center, right? And also from the back as well, right? So we often think we open our heart center from our front. We do. We give from the front, but we receive from the back. And that's what people don't tell you. And that's what I feel is my mission, to start telling you things that I find out that aren't really commonly told, right? So just even envisioning opening your heart center, it's like a portal. It's like this thing spinning in your back, right? And when you start opening it for the first time, it can physically hurt. I'm going to warn you right now. It's not like, excruciating pain. It's just going to be like muscle aches and kind of, you know, because it's an energy place, an energy portal that just hasn't been opened for a while, right? So now it's just time to reopen it and reconnect. And when you start doing that, when you start doing those exercises, you can just visualize it, right? Just close your eyes, breathe in deep, and start visualizing each breath that you take in. Open that portal more and more in the front and in the back, right? Imagine this green portal. Green is love, green is healing. So you're going to imagine this green portal just opening up more and more. And as much as you want it, you don't want to force it, but you want to just do it as much as you're comfortable, little by little, day by day, right? Even set a reminder in your phone. And if you can do it, you know, once a day, you start opening it more and more. You start opening up that love portal. That love portal is going to start activating that energy in your field, in your aura, right? And you're going to start attracting things that are going to start bringing more love into your life, right? Because when you're closed off, you're closing it off to everything and you're attracting things that are closed off, right? So you want to start attracting things that are going to start opening up that love and allowing more love to come into your life. And that's how you do it. All right. So I want to I'll just end off real quick with our animal totem, our spirit animal for the week. I want to tune into this and see what animal we have to guide us, because animals have beautiful messages. And I want to know, anyone this week has seen an animal that kind of stood out to you, something that kind of caught your eye. I want to know, and then we can actually look up the meaning of that animal or bird or whatever type of thing it was, bug, whatever stood out to you. I want to know. I'm curious, because everything holds meaning, everything holds guidance for us, and it's really beautiful. Okay, so we're going to tune in. My daughter's out there yelling at the door. I'm almost done. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So what came out this week for our animal was butterfly. Look at how pretty that is. I love these cards. So our animal totem for this week, our spirit animal, whatever you want to call it, I'll decide that one day, is a butterfly. So it says, be ready to transform with wisdom. So if you think about it, butterflies go through a pretty painful transition, right? If you think, I don't know, I've never been a butterfly, or if I have been a butterfly, I don't remember it. But they go from being a caterpillar, you know, this thing, to in a chrysalis. And Nancy says, oh, there's constantly being bees landing on me and not any of my kids, only you. Interesting. Oh, bees? I know bees do hold like a busy bee significance, right? Like it's almost like a community coming together. I'm gonna look that up, Nancy, and I'll comment on it after, okay? So for the general reading anyway, so the butterfly is what it is. So I'm gonna look into the book and see what the book has to say for butterflies. But if you think about it, like I was saying, like they go through a pretty huge transformation, right? They go from being a caterpillar and physically change into a butterfly, right? So Harriet says, I've seen my first butterfly of the week. Oh, yay! She was like, see? So Harriet, this is gonna go in alignment with what you've been seeing. So you're gonna get some answers about your butterfly right now once I find it in the book. It's all alphabetical. You think I would be able to find it really easily. Okay. Butterfly. Here we go. Okay. So the guidance of the butterfly. Yeah, Nancy says I'm always busy like a bee, right? Yeah. Well, that's just your nature, right? But what is that doing for you? Is it maybe the bees are reminding you to take it down a notch and slow it down and go within a little bit, right? We'll get you the guidance. Okay, back to the butterfly. See, I have shiny object syndrome and I get distracted very easily. So the guidance of the butterfly says, when you receive the butterfly card, you are advised it is time for profound transformation. That is big, right? Doesn't it feel like that too when you get to that point? You know, you get so much is crumbling down around you, and then all of a sudden you emerge and you're like, oh, this is new and weird and different, right? So it says, you are ready to emerge from your cocoon. You are ready. When you see these butterflies, when they stick out to you, right? So do not rush this. You don't want to rush it. You don't want to push it. You don't want to force things, because when you force things, they don't feel good, right? You need a phase of relaxation and calm before you spread your wings. So Harriet, that is specific to you, I feel. This is your point of in between, what I call the in between. So that phase where you had just come out of the hardest part of your entire life, where you've been challenged and, you know, stretched out more than you could possibly do, but you made it and you're here, right? So now's the time for relaxation. Use this period in your life to review, to help you decide what you want to change. And remember, the process is inevitable. You're at this point, you went through what you went through, you experienced what you experienced because it had to get you to that next level, right? It says you will emerge as a different spiritual person. See the world through the eyes of expectation and do everything with a new joy and lightness. Stay in harmony and peace, and remember that you are a beloved child of the universe and that wondrous possibilities are becoming available to you now. You will be protected every step of the way and supported as you explore this new world. Isn't that comforting to know that the universe is there to catch you when you fall? It always is, by the way. None of us are going to be pushed to a point where we can't do something. We are only given what we can handle. And that you must remember. And if you've been through something extraordinarily painful, that means that you're an extraordinarily strong person, right? So it says, you are you are a light for the angels, carrying the light in your energy fields. So people will see and sense your inner beauty and respond to you with love and happiness, right? All right. So what did Harriet said? Oh my goodness, this touched me so much. Good. I'm so happy that you connected with it and you got something from it, because that's just it's all about seeing things from a different perspective. That is key. That is how we heal. That is how we move to the next level in life, right? There's no point in getting stuck on what has been going on and trying to figure out the past, because the past already is gone. We're here now. It's practicing this presence. It's being in this space of opening your heart and just seeing what comes. All right. So I send everyone love and light, and I will see you again very soon. All right. So you take care. Much love. Bye-bye.